Fanbros and fangirls out there. It is our Freshly Snipes 21 here with you again to give you the weekly update on what's been going on in the comic community. And I'm going to just start off, this week we had quite a few season finales. And I'm going to just start off with Arrow first. Job well done to an extent. It was okay. Not, to be honest with you, not really the best season finale in my opinion, but it was still pretty well done. I mean, I do just want to give a lot of props to Damien Dark, who was a fantastic villain, and a lot of that credit goes to Neil McDonough, who looked like he was having so much fun playing Damien Dark. I mean, just his aggressiveness and pretty much his I don't care attitude. Like, I will kill you, and I ain't gonna think twice about it. But like I said, job well done. To me, he was the best villain that they've had on the season since I think it was season 2 when Deathstroke was on there. But yeah, just a few things just to touch on real quick. The way they handled the flashbacks. Look, as far as the flashbacks go, hopefully next season they kind of chill out on them, because to me, I mean, I get that it's kind of intertwined all the stories together, but sometimes it just feels like they're dragging the flashbacks out for the whole season when really you could really take care of some of that stuff in a couple of episodes and be done with it. But Oliver ends up killing Tiana in the flashbacks, who ended up pretty much being taking control over the art, the right that Damien Dark was pretty much using in the present. So she kind of got a hold of that, and it kind of corrupted her. So he ended up snapping her neck. Then when you fast forward to the present day, he ended up killing Damien Dark. I think that was the first time he's killed that I can remember since Malcolm Merlin. Well, quote unquote, in the first season, but I can't remember. I could definitely be wrong about that. And Felicity pretty much ended up making her ex-boyfriend commit suicide by convincing him to stop helping out Damien Dark and remove himself. So I mean, all in all, there was a lot of death going on in the last 2 episodes, but I mean, props to them. The way it ended was very Arrow-esque. It wasn't really a happy ending, and it wasn't really a sad ending. It was more of a quote unquote, hopeful ending. Pretty much Diggle and Thea, they both end up leaving the team. Diggle is still reeling from the fact that he ended up killing his brother Andy, and he ended up telling his wife about it. She just pretty much told him that it was okay, but I think he's going to go find himself. So he ended up re-enlisting again. So we'll see how that works out. When the new season start. The scene with Curtis giving Oliver the speech after he took a beating from Damien Dark, pretty much, and then Oliver giving the city hope. What I'm saying, when the missile was pretty much about to blow up Star City, he stood on top of the car and gave one of his typical Oliver speeches. The city ended up banding together. Then they ended up having this big brawl at the end of the episode. But all in all, it was okay. It was pretty good. I mean, we're gonna have Mayor Oliver in the next season. So what it looks like, and they did say that the villain for the next season of Arrow will not be a metahuman. So it'll be interesting to see who they end up getting for that. Like I said, job well done to Arrow. Now we're going to go to the Flash, which had a lot of comic book nods to it. First off, I will say it looks like we will be getting the Flashpoint Paradox in season 3. Now, if you haven't read that comic book, there is an animated movie with the same title that kind of gives you a good description on it. But obviously, the comics will go a little bit deeper. But the movie is good too if you want to just pick that up and watch it and see what potentially could happen. We actually got the real Jay Garrick, who ended up being the man in the Iron Mask. For those who was kind of confused, the person that was playing Zoom, his real name is Hunter Zolomon. And I ain't gonna go deep into the comics as far as his history go with Oliver, but that was who that was. He was portraying Jay Garrick because he had him held up. He was the man in the Iron Mask, and it was kind of good to see John Wesley Shipp get to put on that costume again, the Flash costume back from the '90s TV show that they had. It only lasted 1 season. I think it got canceled because some executives backstage ended up not being a part of it no more. But it was interesting to see him go ahead and put that Flash costume back on. We did have a hint possibly at Black Flash. For those who didn't get a chance to see it, like the little time demons, they ended up taking Hunter Zolomon away, and as his skin and stuff right there was getting darker and darker, you could kind of see the face turning into Black Flash. So hopefully in season 3, or even soon we will get the Black Flash. They did have a nod at Infinite Crisis storyline with the whole Barry dying thing. Now in the comic book, what happened was he ended up pretty much sacrificing him. He ran back so far in time that he ended up pretty much disintegrating. Now, obviously, they didn't want to do that on TV with with the main character. So what they did was they did something called the Time Remnants, which is pretty much Barry getting a copy of himself, and he was the one that ended up pretty much disintegrating. But it was pretty much the same, except it wasn't the original Barry that we know. So I would like to give them a major props for that nod to Infinite Crisis. This is okay. This is my thing though. Barry, you take 5 steps forward and you end up taking 10 steps back. Every time that him and Iris end up kissing or professing their love together, he go and do something to end up affecting the timeline, wipes all that out, and we have to sit through a whole nother season of this all over again. Look, I get it, the drama, the suspense, alright, cool. But Barry's really starting to annoy. Look, I understand the depth of your mom. It's a sensitive situation, but just when you thought that he was finally dealing with it and letting it go, he ends up going back in time again, but this time go ahead and saving her. And that's pretty much where the whole Flashpoint Paradox storyline ended up starting, was the fact that he ended up going to save his mom again, and then the Justice League, they end up fighting up against each other, people's dying and stuff like that. But all in all, fantastic job by the writers of The Flash for that season finale. Can't wait for season 3. Now, this is the thing that I've been waiting to talk about, because people are losing their minds over the fact that Steve Rogers, Captain America #1, has revealed that he is a sleeper Hydra agent. Now, this is all the talk pretty much around the whole comic community and things like that. People are losing their minds. I'm just give you a quick synopsis on, how it came about, or, how they introduced it. Basically, while on the mission to stop Baron Zemo, Cap ended up throwing Jack Flag out of a jet before saying "Hail Hydra." Everybody lost their mind. But before that, they kind of set up a few little things to kind of make you see, or kind of like give you just an idea of how it may ended up being that way. There were flashbacks of him as a child with his mom, and they was real poor, and then some mysterious woman ended up approaching them, and she was real interested in Steve, and she ended up giving him a pamphlet for a secret meeting. And then if you look at the logo on the pamphlet, it had a Hydra symbol on it, which was kind of a dead giveaway. But at the same time, he's a child, so they don't know nothing about that. Now, my theory is that maybe he was indoctrinated as a child, but you never know. I'm just going to tell people this. It is only the first issue. Calm down. I'm pretty sure once the story plays out as a whole, you'll be able to be like, oh, okay, well, the way they did that, it made sense. So y'all can stop panicking. Like I said, it's only the first issue. If you have issues with that, you can always go read the Sam Wilson Captain America comics, because he's still Captain America, and he's the Captain America that, people pretty much know and love as far as the way he carries himself. Now, another thing. Hoo-wee, okay, DC. Y'all throwing out some things. So pretty much, Justice League issue number 50 revealed that there are 3 different Jokers. The way this came about was in a Dark Side War storyline, I believe. Batman ended up gaining possession of the Mobius chair, and it pretty much gave him access to all unlimited knowledge. And so one of the things he asked was, who's the Joker? Now, obviously the answer that he got was shocking, because we didn't ever get that answer literally until now. And he said that the answer that he got was, there are 3 of them. So it seems like the 3 Jokers are based off the Golden Age Joker, the 70s and 80s era Joker, which was written by Neil Adams, if I'm not mistaken, and the Scott Snyder version Joker. So it would actually explain a lot, considering, how his attitude and psychology always changed, and the appearances and his motives and things like that. So now Batman is pretty much on a mission to investigate this and, you know, try to confirm, is it really 3 Jokers? How did they still come about? I personally like the twist because it doesn't really take away from the aura of who the Joker is. And the reason why I said that is because it really just ended up giving you more questions than answers. Okay, well, how's it 3 of them? You know, and things like that. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about the reveal that there are 3 Jokers? What do you think about Steve Rogers being a Hydra agent, possibly? And the only reason why I'm going to say possibly because, like I said, we don't know how the story is going to play out. What did you think about the Arrow and Flash season finales? What are you looking forward to in the next season? Like I said, thank y'all for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. I'm Freshly Snipes 21, and I see y'all next time. Peace.